Hello everybody and welcome back to another Xeqqed video. I'm coming at you today with a particularly unfortunate situation. So as you can see by the might of my beloved rally trap, I got hit. And I got hit pretty hard. Down from 1.82 to 1.54. But it was even lower than that. I've already healed some troops that were in the sanctuary, so it was really, really bad. But luckily, I did not burn. Very happy about that. This trap held its own. And it did under unreasonable situation, right? So, bad conditions that I left this account in. I actually was busy working, and I had notifications off on my phone, so I did not see that I was actively under attack for probably about an hour. 10 or 11 rallies, coming, and then attacks, and retesting, and familiar attacks, and I got all the notifications. My phone was just muted. So I really could have prevented it, and the real issue was the trap was in this gear. You see right here the training gear, obviously not what you want to take a bunch of rallies in, and also it was in ranged wedge. And if you guys remember anything about this trap, you'll remember that this trap had an 80 million tier 2 infantry frontline. So it was in the wrong formation, in the wrong gear. The only thing that it did have was it was in the talents. So these are the stats that this trap took 10 rallies in. 300 mix right there. 330 mix, my bad. Pretty pathetic. But I think it might be even more hilarious to tell you that it didn't burn, of course, and the rally leaders just could not get through this thing. It was so bad that they thought it was online. And I'll show you here what happened, what exactly went down. It was too funny. So let's look here. Right? So up here, Cherry Maru comes in. Obviously, this is a very strong castle. This is not a max castle at all, not even close. 179 stars, not even close. Pretty good blessings, honestly. Very good artifacts. Army skins don't really mean anything. Decorations don't really, not enough to matter. I mean, you can see it's I think it's full champ 12, and if it's not, it's at least 5 champ 12 with some really strong cups. I mean, this is strong, and of course, it was a very strong inf blast that hit me, right? So it did 8 million. I'll show you the real reports afterwards, but it was a very strong hit, and it seriously hurt the front line of this trap, even though it was the wrong front line. It was range. It was 30 million tier 2 range in front. And then I get hit by Pickles here. Pickles is not a great lead. I would say he's probably on par, or maybe even a little weaker than my main. The only thing he has going for him is these faiths, and these, I forgot what that one is, but yeah, he's got the champion accessories going for him. Some decorations, no army skins, whatever. But blessings, like I said, not very good. Meh, castle stars are okay. So, he hit me, and he also, of course, hit infantry into the range formation, but next is sort of where things start going downhill. So they hit me again. You'd think they'd be doing more damage, but they're not really. This guy did, I believe, hit some tier 4, because you see the Might Destroyed went up on my side. Yorua, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, but there we go. Yorua hit my tier 4, I believe, started to break into it. And this is a pretty good account. This is 200 castle stars. The blessings are okay. It's probably still got some pretty high base stats. I did not actually ever see the gear on this account, but it was pretty good. I assume it's 5 piece 12 and maybe some faith. So this is where things really start to go downhill. They start to just sort of lose all bearing of what's going on. So here we go. We got SG Awe. I believe he actually hit me with Cav, which would make sense if he got rid of all the range, but they had not yet cleared the range, so as you can see, it was a pretty good noodle. Then, they have another guy hit. I don't remember what he hit, but this is a very strong lead. This is still not max, but it's getting on max. It's got most of the castle stars. The blessings are very good, and still not enough decorations to really matter, but some pretty good decorations. And you can see he's got 12 faiths, some good 15 pieces. I mean, this is a strong lead right here. And he hit me. But he still didn't do much of anything, so that was pretty sad. And then it just kept getting more and more sad. So we got Awe coming in again, still. not great gear. Blessings are okay, not great. Castle stars are not very good. Decorations, not very good, don't matter. Army skins, meh. And then the gear itself is probably a little worse than my main account. He hit again. And then we got another hit. K Arma Wang. Yeah, this is really not a strong lead. I mean, it's okay. It is not strong. No decorations, army skins, meh. Yeah, not very strong here. So he hit, didn't do much. And this is more and more sad for them because, right, they've already taken down most of my range. And now they're just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. I just don't know how they did this wrong. I was so vulnerable, but they still did not manage to finish me off. They killed almost all of my front line, as you'll see in a second here. It was just too funny. That's why I had to share it with you guys as quickly as possible. Another pretty okay lead. Probably nearing as strong as my main. Yeah, bad decorations. Blessings, artifact collection, meh. Let's see, and then Yorua comes in again. Same guy. Does even less damage than he did the first time. And then Jum Chon, very weak castle. Not gonna be able to do any damage even if he counters. Does 3.7. So, and then as you can see, they give up, which really is hilarious. They started mailing me, being like, "Okay, we know you're on. Give us our leaders back for like 40,000 gems or something, some really low amount." But I was not even on yet. When I finally came online, it was, you see the time here, it was 2 a.m. my time. I finally came back online at like 1-ish. So I was indeed not online. I was just sitting there waiting to be zeroed, and they just didn't do it. So let's look through the actual reports and sort of the testing process, right? Okay, so first, of course, as soon as my shield dropped, I guess that was right around 10:50 my time, Cherry Maru comes in here and he breaks my wall. Yep, breaks my wall with a reasonable test breaking march. He sends that, wall's broken. Comes in, sends what looks like a range test. Yep, range test. Sees that it doesn't do much damage. Okay, keep on testing. Sends in the cav test. Sees that it does absolutely nothing. Pickles is going to come in here and test as well. Does the range test again. Then the cav test, I'm sure, does nothing. Oh, what? An inf test? Somebody needs to tell him that really doesn't do anything. Don't ever do inf tests, guys. They really they don't work. You got to do cav and range and guess from it, or use your best estimate. And Cherry tests me again. You can see the timestamp. It's right before the rally marches. Sees that I did not change formation. Then says the cav test again. Sees no formation change. And then again tests one more time just to be sure, I guess. And yet again just to be sure. Finally marches in. And this is the hit that really hurt, right? Let's look at this. This looks like it was a perfect inf hit, although I guess it was to deal with the ranged wedge situation. They did that weird thing where they send inf with some range. So they did that, and ranged phalanx. I guess they've been watching Oleg. But they did a ton of damage, needless to say. I mean, it really hurt. Look at that. 7.6 mil of the bad frontline gone. Just not a very good hold by me at all. Still didn't burn just because this account has so many troops. Not because of the stats, of course, because there was no gear on. 300 mix. But yeah, this account really did some damage. And I commend him for that. That's a huge hit. Let's go on. Pickles comes in. Testing, I guess. Again, this guy's obsessed with testing. Pickles testing again. Please let this be the infantry. Ah, no. Wait, is that 2 cav tests in a row? Okay, sent 2 cav tests in a row. How odd. And then Pickles comes in here. Hits me, certainly. Does himself some pretty good damage. Also using... Oh no, not also using that same trick. Just sending in the wrong formation. When you send just infantry without that fun trick, you should be sending it in infantry phalanx. But that's neither here nor there. Point is, he hit me. He did a lot of damage. So you can see I'm now down to 12 million tier 2 infantry, tier 2 range. And this is getting dangerous for me, right? Because if you get to only 2 troop types, you have a very high probability of burning because there's nothing in the back. shooting at the things that are in front, attacking you. So it's not good. Needless to say, I'm in trouble. If they didn't just, like, forget how to play the game. So let's go back here. Yurua comes in, hitting with a still pretty good hit. Cavalry Phalanx, though, is very, very odd for an inf rally. I've not seen that one. I'm not sure why. I don't know why you'd do that. I really don't. If somebody knows and can tell me in the comments, please do. I just have no idea why you do that. But as I said earlier, he finally began hitting some tier 4, so that's why this did significantly more damage, might-wise, than some of the other ones did. Pretty good hit by him. This is where they lose it. This is, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. This guy also hits cavalry in cav phalanx. Let's not do that in the future. Cavalry and ranged phalanx. That's one of the reasons this did absolutely nothing. You see it did, what is that, just under 2 million? But I have almost nothing to shoot now, so this just doesn't really make any sense. They needed to send one more infantry to confirm that the range was indeed gone. Because, you know, when you run out of range to fight against the infantry, it will start doing less damage. Because, of course, there won't be a counter anymore. It'll be a push on the infantry and the cav. So, they should have done that rather than just going straight into the cav. Somebody said, okay, you know, let's go straight cav. No, let's not go straight cav. That's not right. So that was a cav hit, and it did absolutely nothing. Next blue sky comes in. This is a range hit. I don't know what planet made him think range was okay, but that's, again, why it didn't do anything, because he's just pushing on my range. So essentially what he hit is a big wall of tier 4 and a little bit of tier 2. Of course, that's not going to hurt that badly, so only did 3 million. And I say only because, you know, 3 million is still a lot of damage, but this account was out of gear in the wrong formation for the trap. I mean, it had pretty much everything against it, and still, they were failing. It's so funny to me, I'm sorry, but this is so funny to me. So as I said, this ranged hit is just wet noodle. I mean, I don't know what went through his head to make him do this, but it didn't work out. Also, next time, use infantry wedge, please. And then we got another one coming in here. I think this is a cav. What? No, this is a range. You see, none of the things they were doing were making any sense. This is ranged phalanx. Range. No, it's just wrong. Even if this was the right time to send range, this is the wrong way to send range. This is my first time looking at these reports in depth, by the way. That's why I'm not... I'm just as surprised as you guys are looking at this. I've been so busy this weekend, but I mean, look at this. This is hilarious. Ranged and ranged phalanx hitting my troops out of gear, wrong formation, and just flopping off. I mean, yes, they're hitting a wall of tier 4 and tier 2 with the wrong troop type in the wrong formation. It's just so weird. So that fails, of course, and Pickles comes in and is like, "What's going on here?" Well, he tests, hits cav. And then another guy just comes on in, arm a wang, finally another infantry, and finally they've made the right decision, right? So they begin to kill the remaining ranged. I'm glad that somebody remembered, oh, maybe he just has some range left. So they hit infantry, and they're finally about to break through into the meat of this trap. And after probably one more infantry rally, they are ready to take me down quickly with cav rallies. So, they come in with another infantry rally. Perfect. Now, I am just about there. You can probably cav me now. Although you really should do one more infantry just to confirm that it is actually, everything else is gone, truthfully. But you could probably, a really strong guy could still send cav and begin doing some serious damage. They're finally on the way, and then they pyrus me. Okay. Pyrus me again. Okay. And then Yurua comes in here and sends infantry and cavalry phalanx. What? Should have been infantry again. And of course, they hit the wrong thing, because they keep sending these troops in the wrong formations. So they hit infantry and a little bit of range. And of course now they think I'm online, and I have changed formation. It's not the case. So, they stop. And they test, and they think about their decisions. Cav test, no damage, still in range, have not changed. What is this? A range test. Just don't send this type of familiar with your tests, because these are going to do damage to things that could not be the front line and cause you to think that the formation is one thing when it's actually another thing. This is just not a good idea. So don't send like anything that will just randomly attack the biggest formation in someone's castle, because it's not going to be what you want. The biggest formation might not be the front line. Like for me, it's not. So that's why they do some damage to the infantry here. So they do some damage to the infantry and they're like, what's going on? It's confusing, because it's not right. And then here comes another test. This one does nothing, so it's probably... No, it's another inf test. Inf tests do not work. Please don't do them. Oh, you know, I'm happy they didn't burn me. And they caught me... I'm unhappy they caught me in all the wrong things. But, of course, they didn't burn me, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But I'm also kind of sad for them, because they just did not do anything right in the end. Had they done this right, I could have been zeroed. I really could have. But they just did not believe in themselves. And they believed, instead, we're doing something wrong. And they decided to blame it on me. I'm online. But I wasn't. Never in this whole time did I change from ranged wedge. Or change gear. Or change my terrible wall familiars or anything. Just too funny. And then here comes another test. What is this? Cav doesn't do anything because I'm still in range formation. Oh, and then finally another rally. Because I guess they decided they're not quite done with me. They come in here and send an inf. And naturally, now that the range is gone, they're hitting inf and cav. So, yeah. This is their final mess up. They should probably have hit with cav, because the other guy hit with inf and then just didn't really do the right damage. I mean, it was a series of mistakes that caused them to mess this up. And I guess I can understand how it made them think that I am online. But also, I don't know. They needed something to not make so many mistakes. But they just kept making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. And it led to whatever this was, hitting inf into 80 million, 90 million of counters. So that's just not it. And then another test, because why not? What is this? This is a cav test. Still doesn't do any damage because I'm in range. Formation have not changed the entire time. Another test. What is this? An inf test. Inf tests don't do anything, no matter what formation you're in. Blue Sky sends a cav test. Doesn't do anything. And then finally they begin to poison their leaders, because they realize we're not getting those back. They could have, but they realize in the end they're not going to. Because they think that I'm online, and because they just could not figure out how to zero me. So let's show what's left, right? So I'd like for this account to be a little bit smaller, and I kept saying that, and now I get to have the opportunity to make it a little bit smaller. So I've lost quite a few troops. This is where I'm sitting right now. Need to bump up this tier 4 range, certainly. Now I've got all that tier 2 range gone, but I'd like to make sort of smaller still. I'd like to take it to a different kingdom and get it hit, get some of this inf down, because it's not getting hit that much. This, naturally, the only time that it's hit is when I'm not here, so I can't even enjoy it. But, you know, this was proof it can hold its own. It just needs to be in the right formation and have me with it, but also probably be a little smaller. I'm thinking maybe 50, 60 million tier 2 inf, and then of course I'll rebuild the tier 4, and I might rebuild a little bit of the tier 2 range. So let's pull out some troops from the sanctuary, actually. Yep, divine assistance, blah blah blah. I'll take that. There's a lot of sharpshooters, some cannoneers. I'm not going to get much of the cannoneers back, I guess, because I've been doing this. That's why I'm not at the 1400 anymore. But you saw I ended with... What did I end with? I ended with 94 million troops, so they killed a great amount of troops. They killed like 36 million troops. Good for them, honestly. They really did hurt me. But they just could not make it to the final stretch, which is so sad given how close they are. That's sort of what happened here. So a disaster, a series of bad events that caused this account to both be hit and be mistaken to be online. I wish I was here to put it in gear, use this beautiful gear, actually get this account to show off what it can do. I saw there was recently a 20 rally party, and I'd love to have been there for that, but I wasn't. I was busy. So I'm thinking I'll do a stream in the future because I got a lot of stuff to open up on this account. I've been collecting for a few days now. Got some Astrolite chests. You see, I'd like to get these champ pieces up a little bit more. Probably, yeah, I'd like to get this up to 12 maybe. Then this guy certainly up to 12. That'd be fun. So I could do that on stream. I think I probably will do that on stream for you guys. And then I got some other Astrolite crap too. We'll open that on stream as well. Maybe like this, I don't know, maybe this Tuesday, this Wednesday, we'll see. Just something fun. Something fun to look forward to. So, yeah. Let me know if you guys got any suggestions for videos. Any sorts of things that you want to see. I'm certainly going to try to keep pushing out some fun content. Maybe I'll get this rally trap hit again. A little bit smaller. Get the gear a little bit better. And, yeah. Be sure you like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this trap. Make fun of me a little bit, too, because I should have been online. The one time I got this thing hit, I wasn't even here to see it. So, make fun of me for that. Alright, guys. I appreciate all your support. Xeqqed out.
I fight to strive. One day I'll have what I want in life.